It's time, Chihiro. It's time to cook. What's up, guys? I'm Hansel here, and here we are to do a breakdown / live reaction and review to chapter 43 of Kagurabachi, which is known as Fulfill. And I'm interested, because presumably we're in the wind down of this arc, right? Notably with Flamebone Hiyuki presumably at least sending the final antagonist, quote-unquote, the boss of the big bads who come and took Chihiro's father's life. So I'm not sure how much I believe that. With her apparently sending him off, and her being here now, and it seems like the Shinichi's low-key rebelling just a little bit, and we're kind of in a stage where Kyora himself seems to be falling apart. I feel like we're in the wind down, but then the question becomes, what's going to happen next? And I'm quite intrigued to see where Hokuzono-sensei takes this. So let's, or Hokuzono, I kept saying Hokuzono. Hokuzono-sensei takes this, so let's not waste any more time, and let's hop right into it. Heading me, are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me, and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, tar. Like, I just get real straight. Like, do you gotta imagine what Chihiro's been running through? Like, he came in not fully healed, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think he came in fatigued. Then he had to run through a gauntlet of individuals. Then he had to fight, not the older sibling, but he had to fight the more talented younger sibling of the Kazanami clan. Then he had to run into the final boss, quote-unquote, box up with him a little bit. Then he had to burn the rest of the Cloud Gouger. And then he had to do even more fighting against more of the Sazanami, I think he had to fight a little bit more. And then he ended up fighting Kyora. Then he ended up fighting alongside Yuki. And now he's back here giving out a spirit. Like, bro has been running a gauntlet. Like, straight up, in terms of raw energy expenditure, it's actually genuinely impressive that this man even has more spirit energy to give out. Like, bro should really be running on straight 8. There should be nothing left in bro's tank. And I'll admit, that's a sign that he's getting stronger. He's only getting more and more powerful, which is going to be, it's going to be intriguing to see how powerful Chihiro gets by the end of the series, especially considering what's going to happen with him, the sacred enchanted blades, and obviously how powerful the main antagonists actually are. Because if they're able to take damage at this level, at this time, how swole are they really? Once again, it's a big reason why I don't think that was actually the final boss. I don't buy it. Something smells fishy. But let's take a look into Kagurabachi. Oh, okay. So he taps her one time. Oh, look at Hakuri cooking. And thank you for the guys who corrected me. I forgot. Technically, yeah. Hakuri has his own subspace. So even though the storehouse is falling apart, his subspace should be fine as long as he's fine. So that's okay. Even if Hakuri were to clonk out and this subspace collapses, Chihiro may be stuck in a void for a little bit, but eventually once Hakuri recovers and wakes up, which, like, who knows? It seems like these two, the subspace runs on the same timeline as the main space. Maybe Chihiro will just need, like, a couple hours of sitting in the void before Hakuri would wake up and be like, ah, I forgot about Chihiro! And then just drag him out of there. So he'd probably be fine. Once again, I don't think, like, the entire subspace itself is deleting, just the foundation of that area in subspace is slowly going away. But let's see. Good. I'll touch them all. Whoa! Chihiro, you can't just be saying that. No, you're gonna what them all? You're gonna touch them all? Chihiro, there are rules about that, but you can't just go around declaring that. I'll touch them all. Okay, ass catch him. Except you aren't catch him, ass touch him. Yo, that's crazy, Chihiro. And get them out of here. That's what they all say, Chihiro. That sounds a little... Why have to say it like that? You could have just said, I'll save them all and get them all out of here. Or, I'll catch them all. Look at them all. You said you're going to touch them all. Uh-huh. Okay. I mean, do what you gotta do, Chico. Do what you gotta do. It's for the greater good, right? It's for the greater good, ain't it? Let's see. And get them out of here. Okay. Touch. I'm assuming he's touching them all. How many people are left in there? 20. 36! 36! Golly! I mean, I guess there were a lot of cages. And once again, I feel like we did get a good shot of it. But I forget how many people were actually in that shot. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if there were 36 whole people in there. Because the storehouse seemed relatively large. Like, there's a reason he could broadcast, like, a whole illusion dimension thing and, like, show off the entire multifaceted area. There were a lot of people trapped in there. The interesting thing is that the cages fell apart, though. Like, were they part of the subspace as well? Because, like, now all these people are free. I feel like the cages have to low-key be part of the subspace, though. Because if they weren't, then Chihiro would have to be, like, busting through cages as he goes to grab them. And obviously, they'll take even more spirit energy after he's already, like, super-duper fatigued. But let's see. Can he do it? Come on, now. Sure. This is a subversive shonen manga, but it's still a shonen manga. Let Chihiro cook. And plus, he got the main one already. Like, the sister is the main one that y'all came for, at least that he came for. So, like, sure, you leave somebody behind? You tried. It was a noble sacrifice. It was either them or Chihiro. And you know you can't cite my boy Chihiro. Come on now. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. But let's see. Good. Uguriba. 36. Can he do it? Oh, I like how Hiyuki actually looks genuinely worried. Once again, Miss, I'm gonna take his life. Being like, wait a minute. He's not actually gonna get trapped in Kamui, is he? that would be a genuine fear. But let's see. Gotta hurry. That boy's moving. And once again, it looks like he's doing this all with his raw physicality. I don't see any of... I mean, I guess there's a little bit of his spirit energy leaking out. But I'm talking about, like, using N10 at all. It seems like he's purely using his own physical prowess in combination with his own spirit energy while heavily fatigued to do this. Literally leaping across a collapsing subspace. Very impressive, very impressive. Especially considering he hadn't actually been there that long. So he must be, like, just glancing and, like, looking, making sure, okay, no one's there, there's somebody, and, like, having to run. He doesn't... I mean, maybe he can sense their spirit energy if they have some, and considering these are all unique individuals, it seems like even Hakuri's individual... No, the basis for this is Hakuri's individual had the ability to wield ice, so presumably all these people do have somewhat unique powers, so maybe he can sense that at least, but still, he may just straight up be running blind and just hoping he can get everybody. How Hakuri can count is probably just by, like, noting the separate life forces inside of it. Let's see. The only thing that's saving off the storehouse's collapse is Father's will. If the enchanted blade overpowers his will, the storehouse and Chihiro, all of them will. Oh. So there are... Okay. So there are still genuine... Okay. So even if Hakuri's fine, if the storehouse is gone, the storehouse is gone. So yeah, he could still hypothetically get trapped in Kamui. Yeah. See? Once again, a wise man once told me, Pencil... You could never be in a manga. Yeah, because I'd be thinking way too darn logical. I'd be like, you already got a couple? Well, you don't know when Kyora's going to give out. Is it really worth losing the one guy who can properly wield the enchanted blades and the one guy who could possibly make more? Just randoms? And I would be tapping on Hakuri's shoulder being like, give him, how long do you think your daddy got? 15 seconds? Take him out at 14. Like I would try to be knocking on Hakuri's shoulder and be like, we cannot lose, bro. We get him out of there. Because you can't wield an enchanted blade. I can't wield an enchanted blade. Maybe Shiba can wield an enchanted blade. But, like, you can get wield an enchanted blade. We need broski. And plus, that would just be 2 of the enchanted blades lost. Ooh, actually, no. Because I believe Kyoto's in the real world still. So, that'd be 1 of the enchanted blades lost. You can't lose that. Get that bad boy back. But, like, all of them will. It's up to Kyora. Woo! That brother tweaking. What is happening? What's in that sword? What is in that sword? What is this man doing? That is correct. And I wonder, is it because they don't know how to control their spirit energy or something? Why is it only happening to them? Like, Shiba and Hakuri and Hyuki are all there. But clearly they're, like, all a power tier above. Like, even Hakuri now, upon awakening, is clearly built just a teeny tiny bit different in comparison to your average individual. So maybe, and if this is one of the Blade's abilities, like, darn, that's a little sadistic. Once again, we don't fully understand the enchanted blades and what was his father's name? What was Chihiro's father's name? What was his... I'm about to look that up right now. Chihiro's father. We don't know exactly what he was cooking when he was making these things. Like, did he determine the effects? Did he say, okay, for Cloud Gouger, I'm going to give it this ability, and this ability, and this ability. And then for Enten, I'm going to give it this ability, and this ability, and this ability. Kunishige Rokuhira. We don't fully understand how he made the enchanted blade. That's a whole big part. Like, he didn't have really any books about it. He was low-key kind of teaching Chihiro. And the potential of the enchanted blades are clearly limited by what the blade is. It's not like you can pick up an enchanted blade and then it just gives you a baseline set and then you can customize your powers. No, the enchanted blades come with a specific lineup of abilities. Typically 3, I believe Cloud Gouger has 3, N10 has 3, and it seems like Shinuchi may have 3 or more, because we've seen Centipede, we've seen the Butterfly, and now this Flower Field. But I feel like I'm missing one. I think maybe Shinuchi has actually shown 4. But with it being the case, was this what Kunishige was cooking up? Was this like, okay, so on the battlefield, if you use the blade in this specific way, every single one of your non-standard, or every single one of your standard enemies will burst with flowers that will actively grow out of their flag. Like, did he cook that up intentionally, or was that a side effect? And if that was a side effect, who discovered it? Because, like, that's the thing I always wonder with the creation of, like, magical weapons in any series. Like, okay, that's a real cool ability. Who thought of that? Who thought of that? Like, notably, when people just make a regular sword, you think, okay, I need metal stick, cut somebody. Makes sense. A Splagooter, I make metal thing, blam somebody. Okay, makes sense. Sword that creates an image of a centipede that can burst and repel attack. What were you cooking? Like, is it spirit-based? Is it kind of like how in some iterations of Marvel Comics Thor, Mjolnir isn't just like an enchanted hunk of Uru. It's like a seal for a cosmic storm that was ravaging the universe. And that's why it's so undeniably powerful, and in half the runs actually sentient. Because, like, the cosmic storm was sentient, and it's still inside Mjolnir, running amok, causing havoc. Or is it legit just Kunishige's own, like, twisted magical abilities? Like, I don't know. And I think that's going to be something that's interesting. The deconstruction of Kunishige, especially considering how much of Kagurabachi is already a deconstruction on, like, typical anime tropes in many ways, I'm interested to see what was he cooking? Obviously it was to win, and many men have gone to dark places to win. But still, how did you come up with this? How do you make the enchanted blades? Is there anything sealed inside of them? I doubt much, but that's the thing. The only reason I'm hesitant to say something sealed inside of them is because Cloud Gouger ran out, for one, and two, seems to have just regularly broken. Nothing was unsealed when Cloud Gouger broke. It just broke. So, I don't know. Maybe there's something deeper and devious going on with the enchanted blades. Maybe Kunishige was just moving mischievous, monstrous, and got a little bit freaky with it. Or maybe there's nothing at all. We'll find out. Let's see. Hey, what's happening? Keep it going. Keep it going? Dog, I'm gone. Like, what? I'm not, like... I guess maybe because the boss will fire you. Well, if you went to this, you're not getting fired. You're getting... But, like... Under no circumstances, if I'm sitting somewhere and I see a whole bunch of people burst into flowers, that's my cue to leave. Honestly, the moment I saw one of the enchanted blades being used in my vicinity, I'm also gone. Like this. That's the thing. I could not support a story of any kind. Not manga, not anime, not traditional, or American or Western style. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I am not one for the hero's journey. I will move away from danger. I'm not running towards it. What do you mean, keep it going? Are you insane? We gotta get out of here. Yeah. I'd be going already. Let's see. Yeah, what the heck, man? He's out of control. Let's go. What? But... Do you want to die? It's clear that Akuzachi's over. The auctioneer's done for. Yeah. But, yeah. Once again, though, how is this Wi-Fi connection thing working? And how cool was the original wielder of the blade with the blade that the blade's like, yeah, sure. I can do this. For free? On a Wi-Fi signal? Yeah, sure, why not? Let's see. Get away! There's no way he can control the Shinuchi. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. He's not even... And the craziest thing is, outside of, like, Centipede, where he's, like, he hit a... With Centipede, he hit this. He hit the... He never actually unsheathed the blade. At least, like, unless you count this as unsheathing, this is the furthest of the actual blade itself that we've seen. And it's still doing this much. Once again, I brought this up in the previous review, I'm going to bring it up again. I'm not sure how Hokuzono Sensei is going to make the rest of the blade seem impressive relative to this. Like, Cloud Gouger and Enten just must be booty meat or something, because there's no way that an unsheathed enchanted blade has all these special properties, isn't doing this much, and there's still other ones. Like, I feel like we're low-key running into an endgame tier Blade still relatively early on within the story. I could see Kagurabachi being a shorter run manga, maybe ending around like 150 or something, depending on just how few Enchanted Blades there are. What, we're already halfway done? Like, by the time this arc is over, we're gonna have found 3 of 6. So, like, maybe if we're going real fast. But still, I don't know, man. It's gonna be hard to top this. Let's see. Then again, I said the same thing about Cloud Gouger. I said the same thing as I was reading through the manga and catching up. I thought Cloud Gouger was really, really cool. So I guess this is a level up from this, and whatever we see next is going to be a level up from the Shinuchi, which is going to be interesting. He can't hold out much longer. He's about to... Oh, wait, no. He can't hold out much longer. He's about to... I wish he would quit that stupid Rakuzachi. Oh, wait, what is this? Who's talking to him? Oh, is this his wife? I wish he would quit that stupid Rakuzachi. This whole time, I've been miserable. So now, I might as well be honest. You're so brainwashed by all this sacred tradition stuff. They wouldn't have made me yeah, it's his wife. Okay, so we're actually going to mention him his wife. Alright. They wouldn't have made me marry you if not for the Rakuzachi. And if the Rakuzachi never took place, then you might not have become a bad person. I mean, probably. Once again, hold on, let me take a sip. Just based on how Kyora was raising his children, like, I forget how old Hakuri and Tenri are meant to be in the flashback that we see them, when the whole idea of them being loyal and doing everything for the sake of the everything for the sake of their family was introduced. They were relatively young, like very, very young. So I'm assuming Kyora was indoctrinated from a super duper young age. And once again, we don't know if Kyora has brothers. It seems like Hakuri, Tenri, and I forget the older brother's name at this point, but all of them, they had siblings, a decent number of them, but it doesn't seem like there's anyone else but him. There's no one else but Kyora. So it's entirely possible that the indoctrination that was spread across his entire family tree, his entire family line, all his kids, which was clearly very deep-seated and worked very, very well, except for the one guy who was actively tested by the family, I wouldn't be shocked if there really was no other choice. It's not just the Rakuzachi, it's literally the whole family, which I guess is spoiled by the Rakuzachi. So, technically she is right, but I think he was kind of a bad person from a young age, just because that's how he was raised. But let's see, are we going to see the mom, or are we just going to get this? Now, I wonder what happened to her. Is it because she popped out so many kids, or what? I believe Tenri, Hakuri, the older brother, I think they had like 3 more siblings, like the rest of the official family squad. That's a lot of kids. I know there are people who have had more kids, but still, I don't know. I don't know what happened to her. Let's see. Why am I remembering this now? My wife's last words. Oh! That explains why I haven't seen her. Darn! Alright. Jeez. That's a little concerned. Well, it makes sense why you're remembering them now. You better go join her. I'm sorry, that came out way too happy for such a dark statement to be made. But I mean, am I wrong? Am I incorrect? Did I misspeak? Not necessarily. The reason you think about her is because you want a way to greet her, buddy. But let's see. My wife's last words. If the Rakuzachi never took place, Oh, so he did only have 3. Why did I think there were more? I think they had like a sister or something. I don't know. For some reason. Oh, I guess this is the wife. Darn! The dad's genes must have been strong though. They straight overrode her. Now to think, like, their hair isn't even remotely darker. But okay, so only 3 kids. I could have sworn there were more. Was it really just these 3? Hakuri, Tenri, and whatever your name is. Oh, I could have sworn there were more. That's why I need to reread Kagurabachi again. Not again. I only read it once. I need to read it again. But let's see. So yeah, a hypothetical happy life. Ah, what a shame. But that's the thing. It's too late now. It's too late now. But I suppose the end of his existence would make you think about what ifs. That's like one thing. I try not to get too wrapped up in my mortality, or anyone's mortality. Because, on a macro sense, as far as we know scientifically, everything is destined to die. The very universe we live in, long after we humans have, one way or another, been wiped out. Whether it be by our own sun, by overpopulation, or by some massive... Like, something's gonna happen that the universe will outlast us, most likely. But even then, eventually it'll die. The heat death of the universe, the big crunch, like, take your pick. There are like 15 different ways that the universe is destined to die. Every single star will go out. Heat is a non-reusable resource. Bada bing, bada boom. It'd be like that, it'd be like this, it'd be like that. And by proxy, I've always thought about my own mortality. Right now, I'm old. I'm not that old. Luckily enough, my body still mostly functions. The worst things I get is sometimes I get some knee pain because I'm overweight and I need to work on that. And sometimes I get cramps. And not sometimes. I don't know. They've been jacking up inconsistently recently. So I've been drinking more water and I got like potassium tablets because I'm really scared of that. But one day, I'm going to be sitting in a bed or somewhere, or who knows, it could be tomorrow. Like, once again, human life is so fragile. I could plop right now on camera. Obviously not, because then you wouldn't be watching the video. Hopefully. But, like, that's the thing. I try not to focus too much on that mortality. Well, I know eventually, one day, if I'm lucky enough to be old and gray, hopefully with some sort of family, hopefully, looking rough, but hopefully with some sort of family, then I'll be thinking about what could have been, or what could have been done different. Life will be also flashing before my eyes, and that'll be in a much more peaceful scenario than what Kyora's in. Right now, Kyora's in a state where everything's falling apart. Everything that he ever worked for, everything he's ever done, all by the machinations of one boy who's looking to avenge his own father. And the efforts of a boy he discarded, that was his own flesh and blood. And some extra unknown factors, admittedly. The Rakuzachi, which he worked so hard for, sacrificed so much for, did so much for, has fallen apart. Down to its very fundamentals. The very place that was held in his family, sacred for generations, is now falling apart because he decided to try to be more than he was. So naturally, when faced with this, and realizing that all this could have been avoided if he had just chosen a different path, yeah, it would be pretty sad. It would be pretty haunting. It would really kick in the last moment, and it makes sense why he feels this way, here and now. But let's see. Boom! Well, of course, that's a life that could never be. I'm assuming this is the gavel of the Rakuzachi. I fulfilled my... Hold on, I ain't getting an even older voice. Hold on. Kagurabachi. I fulfilled my duty. From this day forward, you are the patriarch, Kyora. I entrust it to you. Wow. Man. Well, that's his father. I don't know. Once again, luckily enough, I grew up with my dad. Like, he had me, and he's like, you're cool enough, pencil man, I'll keep you around. And that dad with a pencil, he's also someone who is a big influence on not just my life, but who I am as a person, and my own mentality, and my thoughts, and my culture, and my beliefs. Like, naturally, he's just a big part of who I am. And I can understand, even as a full-grown adult, just like, well, a full-grown adult without kids. So obviously someone like Kyora, a full-grown adult with kids and seemingly a legacy to uphold. Yeah, I can understand the will of the father, someone you've trusted, someone you've placed your trust in so deeply. Once again, he doesn't even mention his mother here. So presumably the father was everything in his life. Yeah, I'll let that down. Whenever, because there have been times in my life where I let my dad down. And I felt bad. I felt horrible about it. And I can imagine in his own twisted world that letting his dad down, letting his father down after all he's been entrusted with, all that has been laid bare for him, all that's been sacrificed in his own mind for him, it would be too much. And ultimately, he's going to force himself to do it, if only for the fact that he's been entrusted with it. And if you've been entrusted by the person who trusted you with it, yeah, you're going to do it, even if it kills you. But let's see. That's right. Of course. I won't let it end. I'll kill anyone who dares to interfere. Huh? Tweak. Let's see. He overcame the Shinichi with his devotion to the Rakuzachi? His son staked everything on that. What unbelievable persistence. They're all crazy. Yeah. I mean, you're right. She was spit. Like, is he wrong though? Is he wrong? He's not. He's not wrong though. In no universe is that man. He's right. He's spitting. They're all nuts to their own degree, but notably, the origins of their mania. Ironically enough, their origins of mania are similar yet different. His devotion to the Rakuzachi seems to come from his familial line and his father. His devotion to the enchanted blades and getting them back also comes from a devotion to his father. But it seems like the saving everyone else is something that's almost not necessarily unique, because once again, his father also seemed like a genuinely good person. Kunishige did seem like a good man, but it seems like Chihiro's own devotion to saving everybody that he can, if he has the ability to, comes from a mix of his father and his own will. Meanwhile, it seems like in a twisted way, while this does seem to be mostly Kyora's own will, it's really a legacy of wills controlling him, arguably dating back all the way back to the first doer of the Rakuzachi, influencing him with years upon years upon years of indoctrination. And Hakuri's own insanity just comes from likely a twisted variation of that same devotion. Finally being liberated from the madness that consumed his father, he's put in place with a desire and an instinct to give into a madness. But now that madness sort of falls in lines with Chihiro's versus it being his own. And I think a big part of Hakuri's character from now on is going to be defining himself and like what he wants to do, whether it be following Chihiro, whether it be doing something. And I think that's what his subspace ultimately is going to end up reflecting over the time of his run in the series. Right now it's small, it's barely a platform, but ultimately I feel like Chihiro is going to develop into a person with their own unique view on the world and their own way of helping people. If that's what Chihiro, then great. If it's not, then also great. I'm interested to see Hakuri's development beyond this arc, especially considering Char, since she was a child, sort of had to get put away in the background for the rest of her arc, because, you know, she's not even a viable character and she does not do combat, even if she can regenerate really well. But Hakuri is a character who's gotten stronger, got amps, unique amps, and he can still be a relevant part of the narrative. So I'm interested to see his future, because clearly your future ain't lasting much longer. Let's see. Even Hiyuki's like, why is she spitting right now? They're all nuts. Let's see. I'll pay any price to whoever kills them. The auction must continue. This is unreal. Oh, wow. But how do you know, like, how do you know he's good for it, though? is that wrong? Like, especially if I see bro tweaking out like this, slashed in half. Like, remember, the illusion's gone. There's no if, ands, or about to back. Like, you see him laid bare. There's nothing there. Other than the raw, unfiltered truth. And I'm seeing Broski struggling to survive. I'm not sure whoever's left of his family is going to be able to pay any price, quote unquote. That man's cooked. Let's see. Oh, but they're going for it. Fiends, I tell you. I won't let them near you. You just focus. Look at you, I know she's doing it for the government, but mostly it's her own. Come on, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. At the moment, because there aren't many, best girl. Undeniably. Cook him up, Flamebone. But let's see. Tar, detonate the whole area. Hang in there, Hakuri. Will do. Hakuri cooking too, man. You want to talk about two fatigued beasts running it up. Both Chihiro and Hakuri. They're going crazy right now. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, yeah, he's traveling, tapping everybody, touching everybody. See, welcome to That Got the Pencil, where I can have a deep discussion about not worrying about your mortality for the sake of enjoying life itself, for you know that by the time you're worrying about your mortality, it's far too late to enjoy life. And also, I make jokes about Chihiro touching people. and now, in my immature mind, this is just hilarious. He's leaving marks on everybody. Chihiro, you gotta be at least a little bit clean with it. I know he's marking him with his spirit energy, but still, yeah, a little nasty. Why is it dark? But let's see. Oh, pop. Oh, never let a life slip through my hands again. That's like, boy, that's my proud of you, Anthony. 10 more people. Jeez, bro. Ooh, look at the... Uh-oh. Now it's starting to burst out of him, too. Man, I know the original Shinichi Widow was like, what is taking so long? Work. Hurry up. Hurry up right now. Well, let's see. Uh-oh. Falling. Everything. Sorry, I hit the London Bridge is falling down last time. I'll do it again. No. One more. Who's that? Who? Uh-oh. He's gone? He's cooked? Oh, back reduced to the void? Uh-oh. What happened? We made it. We saved them all. Okay, yeah, naturally. Once again, I figured. Where did he keep them, though? Where did he put them? Like, what if they just get recaptured? Let's see. Well, then again, I guess there isn't much of a clan to recapture them. Where's Chihiro? Huh? Oh, right there. If the Rakuzachi never took place. No, that wasn't the reason that I failed. Your best would have been believing in Hakuri. You were right. Chihiro, Rokuhira. He didn't align with my ideals, so I turned away. I'm the only one who failed to fulfill my duty. Oh, as a father, failing to have faith in your son, in your offspring. Man, ain't that a shame. Chihiro, cut him in half! Uh-oh. What you doing with that thing, boy? What you doing with that? Oh, he let it down? Thunk. Yeah, he let it down. He evaded the Shinichi's influence as Kyora Sazanami. That's a hard panel to end on, though. That's a hard panel to end on. A beautiful grave, leaking with flowers. Okay, yeah. Luckily enough, I don't think I can ever like arc it and hit anything on the ceiling. But yeah, that's a nice and solid worthy chapter right there. That's a beautiful way to end it. Once again, Kyora, an antagonist who works well as a good mirror to our protagonist, and I think that's an interesting thing. And I'm thinking that once again, I'm only 2 for 2 right now, or we're only 2 for 2 right now, considering we're only 43 chapters in. But I think what we're going to be doing throughout a lot of Kagurabachi is going through the other blade wielders and seeing how ultimately they reflect against Chihiro and the idea of legacy and what one's legacy means. The reason Soga works so well as an antagonist for the first arc of Kagurabachi is because it's all about the interpretation of Kunishige's legacy, of the Rokuhira legacy. What does it mean? What do the enchanted blades mean? Why would he make them in this way? Soga was asking the same question, and since he had no context for Kunishige as a man, he could only reflect upon his work. He came with his own interpretation of destruction, grand creation, born of destruction, stuff like that. And now we see the different ideals of what a blade wielder and not really a blade wielder, but someone who has not only the beliefs of their own father entrusted to them and the belief of legacy laid upon them, but also a failure in imparting and believing in one's own legacy. Truly, if Hakuri was treated well, he may have awakened to his potential. If Hakuri was treated well, Chihiro wouldn't have been able to ruin the Rakuzachi. If Hakuri was treated well, all of this could have been avoided. And in the end, Kyora realizes his failure. His failure as a father, and a failure as one to hold up his legacy. That's why it all came to an end. Tenri removed. Him, I think he's still alive. He's probably going to be the new Sazanami clan head, and probably a longer-term antagonist for Chihiro, not Chihiro, just Chihiro at least, but also Hakuri. But in the end, he was wrong. Just as Soga was wrong about the legacy of Kunishige Rokuhira, Kyora was wrong about what his legacy meant and how he should treat his own. That's beautiful work. So, if you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave Flower Legacy. Actually, leave Flower Funeral. Flower Funeral in the comment section down below. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. Please remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on every video that comes to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. No month. Things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks will include the live reactions to every other series that I happen to review, ad-free variations of all my videos, and if you become a $25 Patreon and $25 member, you can order whatever video you want. Also, I do have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below where you can drop 5 beans for a short video, 20 beans for a long video, or any beans at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is That with the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to thank you to our $3 members, Zena, Greyhound, Astro, Eternal Flame, NMA, Real Rare, G Prosper, Red Wolf 4765, and Paris Arnold. I'd like to give another big ol' thank you to our $5 patrons, Sean, Sammy, Midnight Lord 21, Kevin Encarnacion, Josh Brown, and A+A. And I'd like to give a great big thank you to our $7 members, Autumn Mornings Lazo, Fine, and That Guy. And I'd like to give a great big thank you to our $10 members, Robbie Uchiha, Jay Warrior, and Akid's Void. And I'd like to give big, hefty, juicy thank yous to our $10 patrons, Panda Goat, Michael Williamson, Metal Solid Crisis, Joaquin Munoz, and Idemo Kami. And I'd like to give the biggest, juiciest, meatiest, sloppiest, and heftiest thank you of them all to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder.